Blessed is this day the Lord has made. I'm Nicholas with Turtle Island Tetragrammaton. I'm a gender fluid person of trans experience and a Christian patriot. Today I'm reading again from Mildred Stamm's 1967 publication, Meditation Moments for Women. I read these without commentary, whether you take them as personal inspiration or as a historical artifact. I'm reading here today, November 10th. It opens with the passions from Scripture, continues with the contemplation, and after that I may consider pulling a Golden Future Oracle card. From presenter Diana Cooper. But first, for Mildred Stamm here, from Proverbs chapter 4, verse 12. When thou goest, thy steps shall not be straitened, and when thou runnest, thou shalt not stumble. Before us lies the path of life. God is interested in the walk of his children. He has planned our path from the beginning to end, but he doesn't show us all of it at one time. We would like to see it clearly before he takes us to the very end, but this is not God's way. We are to take only a step at a time. It is well that we cannot see more than a step at a time. If we could, perhaps we would be so filled with fear and dread that we would turn back. We might become discouraged and give up. If we saw something wonderful ahead, we would perhaps hurry to reach it and thus miss the lessons that God intended for us. All God asks us to do is to take the next step by faith. In the Hebrew, this verse can be translated, quote, as thou goest, step by step the way shall be opened up before thee, end quote. As he opens the way, we can move forward with him step by step. Problems arise when we set off on paths of our own making. But God waits for us to come back into step with him. A man once related one of his most rewarding experiences. As he was about to cross a crowded street in a great city, a little child looked up into his face, put her tiny hand in his great one, and said, quote, take me across the street to the other side. He said, quote, it was a great honor to take that trusting child through the traffic across the street, end quote. He who goes God's way must keep God's pace. Step by step, moment by moment, our loving God walks with us. Synthesis! Synthesize me, Captain! Divine synthesis. Divine synthesis. Okay, let's pull one. Bam, bam, bam. Which one of these four is going to be it? Oh, there's a fifth one. Put them all out there like this. Let's see what the topic is for today. Oh, crazy. Sexuality is the card today. Very profound. Synthesis. What's that, 19? Express pure love. The sacral chakra of love and navel chakra of oneness are two separate centers encapsulated within one large one. When they are balanced and energy flows perfectly between them, people understand and experience higher love. They also develop pure clairsentience. When people live at a fifth dimensional frequency, their sacral chakras become the softest and most delicate pink. At this level, sexuality is expressed tenderly, with love, honor, and respect. Intercourse becomes a transcendent exchange of pure love. When their masculine and feminine energies come perfectly into balance, many souls will embody androgyny. Complete in themselves, they will move beyond sexuality as we know it today. In the golden future, couples will experience transcendent love through sexuality. Sex will be considered sacred, special, and beautiful. Receiving this card suggests it is time to develop the higher chambers of your sacral chakra The lessons here include caring for others, giving love, and sharing love. The final lesson is about nurturing and supporting a baby or any vulnerable creature with tenderness. When you do so, your sacral chakra glows with transcendent beauty. It reminds you that pure love of any kind is special. You are asked to express sexuality in its greatest and purest form by reaching out to others or doing something for them with love, tenderness, and caring. Cherish people and tune into their needs. Aphrodite, who is associated with love, beauty, and fertility, was a high priestess in the temple of love in the golden era of Atlantis. The first thing she impressed upon her people when they built the temple, which was connected directly to the planet Venus, was to give thanks. So be grateful for all the love in your life and ask the High Priestess Aphrodite to help you develop your transcendent sacral chakra. I think we want to take another minute here telling me about Aphrodite. I'm sure there's more to it than that. You can't just tell me that stuff about Aphrodite. Let's see what it says in the big book. Queer myth, symbol, and spirit. Spiritual traditions. I mean, I could do a video, just read all this. It's got witchcraft and Christianity in there. So I'm looking at Afra. It's a whole thing in here on astrology. I didn't find AP. A-T-A-S. Oh, I'm in the wrong place. A-R. It's almost there. Aquila. I can't do my math. My letters math. Huge blurb in here about Aphrodite. What did this say? She was in the house, the temple of love of Atlantis, connected directly to Venus. Of course. If you have a few more minutes here, I'm going to read what is it? The article? I mean, what is it? Entry? I'm going to read the entry on Aphrodite in Queer Myth, Symbol, and Spirit. It says here, Aphrodite, goddess of love and later also of war. Excuse me. Also known as the Lady of Byblos and the Queen of Heaven, frequently identified with Astarte and Venus, believed by some to be of African origin. Aphrodite was worshipped at various times by the Egyptians, Canaanites, Phoenicians, Greeks, Romans, and even by heretical Hebrews as a manifestation of life bestowing aspect of the great goddess. She is often depicted as a nude woman holding her breasts or raising her arms above her head. She sometimes wears a bird mask and is occasionally flanked by male goats. She may appear as a gender variant goddess, as a woman warrior crowned with horns and driving a chariot, or as a hermaphrodite with female breasts and an erect phallus. In this aspect, she is known as bearded Aphrodite, is identified with Aphroditos and Hermaphroditus, and is associated not only with the planet Venus, also with the moon. Above all, a goddess of love, Aphrodite was nicknamed Philomedes, which means genital loving. That's crazy. I'm going to read this sentence again. Above all, a goddess of love, Aphrodite was nicknamed Philomedes, genital loving. According to K.J. Dover, and the Greek term Aphrodisia, meaning things of Aphrodite, refers to sexual intercourse. She is the patron of both Herodic priestesses and secular prostitutes in Sappho's poetry. She becomes a patron of lesbian women. In the Thiassos, or religious household, of Sappho, on the island of Lesbos, priestesses and initiates, I'm reading here, honored Aphrodite, especially as the combined deity Aphrodite Hera and Sappho herself. After the poet's death, by singing and dancing, they circled an exquisite ivory statue of and an altar dedicated to the goddess. As Aphrodite Enosia, she also may have presided over rites of lesbian sadomasochism at her festival in Thessaly. She was further called Androphonos, manslayer. In this aspect, she may have presided over rites of castration. Imagine that. The manifestation may be traced to her birth, brought about by the coming together of the maternal sea and the severed genitals of her father, Kronos. I'm gonna take a minute. through her association with the castrated Kronos as well as her own gender variant aspects, Aphrodite becomes linked to gender variant males. Excuse me. She is also the mother of hermaphroditus, the very emblem of gender variance or transgendered identity. Aphrodite's primary consort is the beautiful youth Adonis, also loved by Persephone and Dionysus, whose life would end when he was castrated by a wild boar. Paris, another of Aphrodite's favorites, was, despite his role in the Trojan War, said to be, quote, unwarlike and effeminate, end quote. He was blessed by the goddess with a retinue of eunuchs. Aphrodite is especially as Aphrodite Urania, a patron of man-loving men. K.J. Dover notes that in the poetry of Theognis, the beloved is considered a, quote, gift of Aphrodite, end quote. One of the goddess's loyal servants is Eros, a patron of homoerotic love. In 19th century French bohemian circles, lesbian women were poetically compared to priestesses of Aphrodite with the expression poétesse. I say it funny. I don't know how to speak in a French accent. Poétesse de Venus. Venus being the goddess's Roman incarnation, becoming synonymous with lesbian. It says lesbian women were compared to priestesses of Aphrodite. So then they would call them priestess of Aphrodite, which meant lesbian. I guess that's what it's trying to say. In a survey of almost 600 lesbians taken in 1989 and 1990, Joanne Lewin found that among 7 goddess archetypes from which the women could choose to identify both themselves and their lovers, Aphrodite rated second, with Artemis being first. Lewin also discovered that in some contexts, Aphrodite and Artemis may represent a quote, femme butch couple. Okay. Because it's archetypes. And, yeah. It took a little longer than I expected. All very informative. So, make of that what you will. Just did to kind of look at it, research it. You know, these Atlantis priestesses, all that stuff. It's all very much, you know, all those Atlantis people, they were godmen, and they became the Greek myths. So we gotta know that Greek myth stuff, even though it seems stupid at first glance, but it's actually really crucial to, you gotta know all of it. And nothing's out of reach. We have the tools to enrich our intellect with these fucking stories and narratives and these fake demon goddesses. You know, maybe there's something deeper there, but yeah, we gotta bring that stuff with us to the moment. Does that stuff enrich your moment? I guess it could for some people. So yeah, very, very useful. Gotta synthesize it, you know what I mean? So hope you have a blessed day. I've been Nicholas. This is Turtle Island Tetragrammaton, and see you in another video again soon. Thank you.